Hey, you liberal fruitcakes! We need to talk about the First Amendment, because some of you aren't using it right. The First Amendment states, Congress shall pass no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right to peaceably assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So now let's break that down so it's simple for you. First, religion. The First Amendment prevents the government from establishing a religion. So there cannot be official religion for the state or at a federal level. Now, one of the biggest cries from the left is separation of church and state. That only works for the government not establishing a religion. But it does not prevent a person who is religious from practicing their faith and politics at the same time. Meaning their religious beliefs are allowed to inform their political ideology. Just like someone who is not religious informs their decisions based on their lack of religious faiths. There is no difference between the two. And the left is going to cry, yes there is, yes there is. No there is not. Your opinions are informed by your religious views or lack thereof. There is no difference, period. Now let's move on to freedom of speech. Freedom of speech protects the individual rights to express oneself and to publish ideas and opinions, like I'm doing right now, without the government censoring it. Now, there are some restrictions to freedom of speech that we need to talk about, because a lot of you over the past couple of days have forgotten that. You cannot incite violence. That means you cannot encourage illegal or violent activities. That does not mean that just because you say something that hurts somebody's feelings, that is violence. That is not how it works. You do not have the right to not be offended. True threats. You are not allowed to intimidate people or threaten harm against them just because they disagree with you. Defamation. You are not allowed to make false claims against somebody or claims that damage someone's reputation. Libel and slander are not protected under freedom of speech. Obscenity. Yes, there are certain ways that you express yourself that are not allowed in the public, such as distributing certain materials in public. This is for the protection of those who are not able to protect themselves. Time, place, and manner. Yes, the government can restrict the time, place, and manner in which you assemble or speak, such as needing permits. This one more and more is being turned over in court cases. So now let's look at a modern day example. On Reddit, there were many people who were actually threatening violence against Elon Musk, wishing for the public execution of him. This is illegal. It is not protected under freedom of speech. You are not allowed to call for violence against people you disagree with. And if you think it's okay to do that, you're messed up, dude. Now let's talk about the right to peaceably assemble. While the government can place restrictions on times and places, you do have the right to peaceably assemble. Now you lefties are all gonna cry, January 6th, January 6th! Be quiet! Most of us believe that was one of the stupidest things that happened. But it was not an insurrection. The reason we have grievances is because many of these people received trumped up charges, which should have just been simple trespassing charges. If you assaulted somebody, yeah, you should go to jail. But then the problem is that the courts trumped up the charges and were sentencing people for like 15 years when simple assault is far less than that. Just because they wanted to make a political point. And you guys are fine with it as long as it applies to the people that you do not like. Because otherwise, everybody who participated in the Summer of Love, who destroyed businesses, families, and actually hurt people, and resulted in far more deaths, you'd be wanting them all in jail too, for the exact same amount of time. But you don't, because you're hypocrites. Now, there have been a lot of protests over immigration right now. And you see a lot of people burning the American flag. And I'm sorry to say it, but yes, that is protected under freedom of speech. And guess what? I hate it, and that's okay. That's my choice. I think it's despicable. And to those I see burning the American flag or disparaging this great country, if you don't like it, vote to change it or leave. Have a good day!